Use of Excel software for statistical analysis. We all know that Excel organizes work into workbooks. Each workbook can contain many worksheets. Worksheets are used to list and analyze data. In this lesson, we will discuss use of Excel in statistics, describe confidence interval for the mean, and explain correlation and regression analysis. After going through this presentation, you should be able to explain functions of Excel, describe entering data into Excel, understand descriptive statistics, and analyze basic built-in functions, and explain statistical analysis. To open a file, click on File, then Open. Ctrl-O to open an existing workbook and to create new workbook. Click on File, then New, then Blank Document. To save your document with its current file name, location, and file format, either click on File, then Save. When you have finished working on a document, you should close it. Go to the File menu and click on Close. Work is stored in an Excel file called a workbook. Each workbook may contain several worksheets and/or charts. The current worksheet is called the active sheet. To view different worksheets in a workbook, click the appropriate sheet tab. It is important to be able to move around the worksheet effectively because you can only enter or change data at the position of the cursor. To move from one worksheet to another, click on the sheet tabs. When you press Home, it moves to the first column in the current row, and if you press Ctrl plus Home, it moves to the top left corner of the document, and if you press End then Home, it moves to the last cell in the document. A new worksheet is a grid of rows and columns. The rows are labeled with numbers and the columns are labeled with letters. To select more than one cell, click on a cell, X for example A1, then hold the Shift key while you click on another, X for example D4, to select all cells between and including A1 and D4. Click on a cell, X for example A1, and drag the mouse across the desired range, unclicking on another cell, X for example D4, to select all cells between and including A1 and D4. To select several cells which are not adjacent, press Ctrl and click on the cells you want to select. Click a number or letter labeling a row or column to select that entire row or column. Each cell can contain a label, value, logical value, or formula. Labels can contain any combination of letters, numbers, or symbols. Values are numbers. Only values, numbers, can be used in calculations. A value can also be a date or a time. Logical values are true or false. Formulas automatically do calculations on the values in other specified cells and display the result in the cell in which the formula is entered. For example, you can specify that cell D3 is to contain the sum of the numbers in B3 and C3. The number displayed in D3 will then be a function of the numbers entered into B3 and C3. Numbers are assumed to be positive. To enter a negative number. The Data Analysis Tool Pack has a descriptive statistics tool that provides you with an easy way to calculate summary statistics for a set of sample data. To find descriptive statistics for a sample data, step 1 is to select the Tools pull-down menu. If you see Data Analysis, click on this option. Otherwise, click on Add In option to install Analysis Tool Pack. Step 2 is to click on the Data Analysis option. Step 3 is choose Descriptive Statistics from Analysis Tools list. Step 4 is when the dialog box appears. Enter A1 is to A4 in the input range box. A1 is the value in column A and row 1. In this case, this value is 2. Using the same technique, enter other values until you reach the last one. If a sample consists of 20 numbers, you can select for example A1, A2, A3, etc. as the input range. Step 5 is to select an output range, in this case B1. Click on Summary Statistics to see the results. Select OK. When you click OK, you will see the result in the selected range. The basic built-in functions are mean, mode, median, and count functions. A histogram is a plot that shows the frequency of data sets. This is an important tool used to analyze the distribution of data. By graphically analyzing the histogram, you can tell where the mean may be located. You can even tell the variation of the samples, or if the data are skewed to the right or left instead of following the normal curve, the mean at the center of the distribution. To generate the histogram plot, follow the simple steps. First, go to Insert, then Chart, then Column, and then click Next. Then click the Series tab and remove Series 1 and Series 2 because they are redundant data in the histogram. Click on the category X-axis and then select B1 to B23, which is the bin range data. Finally, for the name, you can change it from Series 3 to Histogram. A correlation plot or regression analysis is another important data analysis tool that can determine the degree of relationship between two variables. If you have a sample of size n and know the sample mean m and population standard deviation sigma s, you can find the range into which the actual population mean will fall x% of the time. Common confidence levels are 90%, 95% and 99%. Using the confidence function. The confidence function uses the following syntax: equal to confidence brackets alpha s n. Alpha is the significance level. It equals 1 minus the confidence level, expressed as a decimal. The s argument is the standard deviation of the data set. The n argument gives the number of items in the sample. For example, if a sample of 500 college graduates show that they owe an average of $12,000 in student loans at graduation and the population standard deviation is $2,000, you can find a 95% confidence interval estimate of the population mean amount owed. To do this, using the confidence function, enter alpha 0.05 as the first argument, the standard deviation 2000 as the second argument, and n 500 as the third argument. The function looks like this: equal to confidence brackets 0.05 comma 2000 comma 500 bracket closed. The function returns the value 175.30, so you can say with 95% confidence that the population mean is $12,000 plus or minus $175.30. Now let us check if we have understood the various concepts discussed in this lesson clearly. Spreadsheet is used to store information in columns and rows which can then be organized and or processed. Right or wrong? Right. A new worksheet is a grid of rows and boxes. Right or wrong? Wrong. Excel organizes your work into workbooks. Right or wrong? Right. Before we end, let us briefly revise what we have studied till so far. Microsoft Excel is an electronic spreadsheet program with which you can create graphs and worksheets for financial and other numeric data. After you enter your financial data, you can analyze it for forecasts, generate numerous what-if scenarios, and publish worksheets on the web. Statistics is a tool that enables us to impose order on the disorganized cacophony of the real world of modern society. The business world has grown both in size and competition. Variable can be defined as a characteristic of phenomena which may take different values such as weight, gender, since they are different from individual to individual. Excel has a wide variety of built-in statistic functions that give, for instance, the slope and y-intercept of a line, the standard deviation of a data sample, and the mean, median, and mode of a set of values. Sample is a subset of a population or universe. An experiment is a process whose outcome is not known in advance with certainty.